Do you know right now, like one dead local government, there are 15 Enigie'S in one day. How are you not going to harmonize and pick one of those 15 Enigie'S as the head of the local government traditional council without not creating bad blood action? Everything is just to make sure that the power of the Obas of Benin is drastically reduced to its barest minimum.
Thanks for clicking on this channel. Please subscribe to FO's blog history and click on the notification button so that whenever we upload a new video you will be notified. These Enigie'S autonomy will throw Benin Kingdom into crisis, says Comrade Stephen. Who appointed the Enigie's? Is it not the Obas of Benin? Comrade Stephen asks. The Obas of Benin created Dukedoms for easy administration of the kingdom and appointed Enigie'S as his ambassadors in these communities. Enigie'S are not indigenes of the communities they preside over. Now state government is giving them autonomy in order to cut them off from Oba Palace control, where their source of authority comes from. The major reason why Governor Obaseki is doing all this is to reduce the power and influence of Obas of Benin to the barest minimum, he said. We at FO's blog history have the opinion that Governor Obaseki is challenging the Obas of Benin authority in Benin Kingdom. In the meeting he had with the Enigie'S, the two suspended Enigie'S by the Obas of Benin were invited and granted autonomy, meaning they are independent from Obas of Benin control. Please sit down and watch as Comrade Stephen gives a critical analysis.
Yeah, good morning guys, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the location and where you are watching me from. So my name is Stephen, and I'm here to speak to you this very moment about the trending issues between the governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, and the contending purported letter written by the government to the Secretary of State, Barrister Osadion Ogi, and the result and the outcome of some of the Enigie'S trying to distance themselves from that very particular letter. I am going to try as much as possible to take a very different dimension in the entire matter, to be very fair to both the governor and the Enigie'S. I'm going to say it the way it is. If you can remember, I think it was also this year when a letter was also circulating on the social media space of 5 or thereabout Enigie'S trying to be promoted to the statue of a first-class chief in Edo South. And many of us came out and we voted against the move by the government of Edo State at that time. And at the end of the day, they dropped the idea because the Edo people weren't actually in support of such a very bizarre idea. I want us to go back to history a little bit, so that will help us to actually get a clearer understanding of what is happening in Edo State. I might do this in parts if the time could not permit me to actually do a very lengthy video. Edo State have Edo Kingdom. The Benin Kingdom has one kingdom. It is called the Benin Kingdom. For proper administrative purposes, the kingdom itself decided to have dukedoms, like you have in the Britain. They have dukedoms. In Britain, we have the Scotland, we have the North Ireland, we have the Ireland, we have the England. Okay, all these made up the United Kingdom, which is being run by a king now, known as King Charles. Every of the other dukedoms are subject to the king in England, London. In London, England, I mean. Now, another new letter came out again, saying that each of the local government in Edo State should have a local government traditional council. The truth is this is going to bring about duplication of power, duplication of authority. If you ask me, these guys have been autonomous from the beginning. How many of the Enigie'S sell lands in their kingdom and revert back to the Oba? Even the Odion we raise, the ONs of communities, sell community lands. How many of them revert back to the palace? None. There is none. Absolutely none, guys. So there have been some level of autonomosity to these Enigie'S. So now, what is the reason for the cry of this autonomy? It is mere financial inducement. It's all about the money. You were appointed. You see, this is the issue we talk about every day. How will Nigerian develop where corruption has eaten deep into the marrows of the Nigerian people? Even our traditional institution, who's supposed to have been the beacon of hope for our nation, are already being corrupted by the system. If I may ask, what are actually the functions of these Enigie'S in their respective kingdoms in Edo South? They have none. Even with the money they generate within their community, with the money that is being paid to them by the local governments, What developmental strides have they been able to put up in their respective communities? Have you ever gone to some of these communities and seen the palace of the Enigie'S? It's an eyesore. Most of these Enigie'S have already sold the entire community land. Get to buy big cars, build a hotel in Benin, and live a very high, flamboyant lifestyle. Listen, some of these Enigie'S are sent to these communities by the palace. They are not an indigene of those communities. They do not even have a tie to the community where they govern after. Now, how do you want to now make such a people to be autonomous, total autonomous from where their branches starts from? I will discuss the part 2 in this very video. Just watch out for part 2, guys. Now, this is the part 2 of it. How do you expect these people to be committed to the development of the community where they are? Do you know right now, like Wunde local government, there are 15 Enigie'S in Wunde. How are you not going to harmonize and pick one of those 15 Enigie'S as the head of the local government traditional council without not creating bad blood among the communities? As of today, the palace of the Obas of Benin is in total charge of all the Enigie'S in Edo South senatorial districts of Edo State. That has been able to reduce communal clashes over, power superiority in the state. So now, if you not go to Wunde where they have 15 Enigie'S, who is going to not be the head or the chairman of the local Benin Traditional Council in the local government level? This is where politics starts from. Because what the government of Edo State is trying to introduce, guys, is what is happening in the west, in the north, and in the east, where the government has a lot of say. Listen, guys, where the government has a lot of say on who becomes the head of these bodies. Now, like I just said, these people who are the Enigie'S of these communities are not aborigine. That means anybody can be appointed by the government, and a staff of office can be given to such a person to rule over, to lord over any of those communities without the ingestion of the palace of the Obas of Benin. And this can be used for a political reasons in the future. If you both know the Emir of Kano, Sanusi, how he became the Emir as a result of the issue he was having with the federal government around 2014, before the election. He was suspended as a CBN governor. Then the then governor of Kano State immediately nominated him as the Emir of Kano. His emirship was a politically motivated emirship. And we all know the rest of the story. The same thing is what the government is trying to do in Edo South. The major reason is to reduce the power of His Royal Highness to the barest minimum. That the Obas of Benin, Uku Akpolo Monobanedo, Oba Ewari the second, Dukedoms of Benin Kingdom, to now have power over only Oredo local government, where he resides. He will now only sit during a meeting of the Benin Traditional Council as the chairman of the council. Just as the position that the Obas of Benin occupied today in the Edo State Traditional Council, where he is the permanent chairman. The purported letter, guys, listen, go read it again. We strip the palace complete, total control of the Enigie'S in these Dukedoms. They are not kingdoms. In these Dukedoms. That's the truth. Because the first thing that is actually making these Enigie'S to give maximum regard and respect to the palace is because their stipends are coming from the coffer of the palace of the Oba. Many of them before, like I said, they revolted, they signed a document, a purported document, asking the state government to constitute the same council in the past that was led by Professor Akenzua, who is a blood-related family member to the royal house. And we all knew what happened, how he was being asked to step down, and all that happened during that period of time. This is another version of the same action. Everything is just to make sure that the power of the Obas of Benin is drastically reduced to its barest minimum. The government is not only involved in this, guys. These Enigie'S are co-conspirators of this devilish, inhuman acts against the kingdom. Somebody are saying the Enigie'S of Uromi, the Enigie'S of this, and the Ataro of Auchi, they all have autonomosity. have they actually sat down to check the history of these communities outside the southern part of Edo State? How they came into existence? Have they been able to actually know that these people are in their own right different from themselves? These are stories that needs to be addressed by the Edo people. Watch out for part 3 of this particular episode, guys. Now, this is part 3 of it. Guys, these Enigie'S are just after the monetary benefits that comes into the kingdom. They want to drive big cars. They want to live flamboyantly. Just like Ojon we raise the ONs in most communities. Because of the high rate of corruption in Nigeria today, they are ready to throw the kingdom under the bus to achieve their purpose. Now, assuming with all benefit of doubt, they finally succeeded in passing this or trying to reawaken this 1979 law that Obaseki is hanging on to create this division in the kingdom. Have you guys actually sat down to ask yourself some questions? If an Enogie now dies in a kingdom, how will his successor be found? Like I said, not all Enogie's are hereditary within the southern Edo district. Now that the government is now trying to be involved in the traditional institution of the Edo people, don't you think this can lead to communal war? Don't you think this can lead to secession war? We are seeing it happening, where an uncle is fighting against the first son of Enogie in Benin, in Edo South. The only place they go to not get the right answer is the palace of the Obas of Benin. It becomes the last resort when issues become so tensed and tough. Now, if you not decide to make them autonomous, how are you going to solve issues of successions? Since the inception of Benin, have you ever seen any case of boundary between a community and a community? It's been addressed by the government of Edo State or by the local government. Have you ever heard of that? It happens in Auchi area where there were boundary conflict and the government had to go there and draw the boundary. It has never happened in Edo South. Do you know why? The moment there is a boundary issue between two communities and they are unable to resolve it within themselves amicably, they go to the palace of the Obas of Benin. So archives are not being checked. And they're going to tell them how it was from time immemorial. If you not give them the kind of autonomity that they are eagerly requesting for, how are you going to solve boundary issues without no war? I want to give advice to the Enigie'S. Listen, guys. I'm very close to the palace. And I know a little bit much about the modus of operandis of the palace of the Obas of Benin. I want to say, guys, Enigie'S talk by this is a wrong path you guys are treading. Edo we woba o jedo. Edo we woba nya kema yase ewebo. Obama o bururi already. Obama o atalakpa neri ebi. Obama o ha already. It's one of the greatest kings in the whole of Africa. The second largest dynasty in the whole world after the Kingdom of Japan. If we are actually children of history, we should not allow peanuts and peasantries to make us want to destroy an ancient kingdom. Enigie'S are just like ministers. Appointed by the palace to administer rules and regulations emanating from the palace on behalf of the palace to the community they are designated to rule over. So a minister cannot be independent from the president. That is why there was that classification by the 1979 laws of the first class, second class, and the third class chiefs. The Enigie'S fell under the canopy of the second class chiefs. Guys, do you also know within Benin Kingdom, hear this now. You might not understand that, but I will tell you this. You know, we have the Ezomo Palace. We have the Eho Palace. We have the Olia Palace. We have the palaces of the 7 Uzamans that make up the Benin Kingdom. Do you know, guys, that the 7 Uzamanians are of the same level, if not higher, than the Enigie'S in these communities? Yes, guys. So now, if you want to actually now make these people independent, you're going to tell me now, because Anezomo has a palace, and Ero has a palace, he has his own chiefs, that he administered justice within his domain. Are you going to say that these people will not have to start rubbing shoulders with the palace of the Obas of Benin? Let's think. The administrative structure of the Benin Kingdom is completely different from that of the Esans, from that of the Afemas, from that of the Yoruba. It's a structure that was built, well structured, to give credence and pure administrative purposes to the kingdom. Guys, watch out for part 4. Now guys, this is part 4. If peradventure, again, each local government now, not communities now, are now made to now have chairman of the local government traditional council. Within the Benin South, we have other communities who claims to have Enigie'S. To have kings and kingdoms. We have the Ijaw living in Edo South and Edo North. And according to history, or according to what I read, they have 5 kingdoms within the Edo North and the Ovia North and Ovia South local government area of Edo State. And presently, the Ijaw people do not believe that they are answerable to the Benin king. How are you now going to nominate a head in a local government like Ovia North and Ovia South within this Enigie'S? Because we are looking at it from the Benin speaking kingdoms, but we are looking at it from the other kingdoms who are purportedly also dragging to be recognized by the state government. Don't you guys think this will eventually explode, sorry guys, into a tribal conflict? Because I know the king of the Jaws in Ikoro does not have a staff of office. So by law, it's not recognized. Okay, guys? Now, if these communities, this local government are not being given autonomy, as it is being purported in that letter, with some of these kingdoms who are not of the Benin origin within the Edo South will not be given a staff of office. Now, if that now happens, how are you going to now find the leader or the chairman of this traditional council in these local governments? Who will now lead the chiefs? Because these are chiefs to us in Benin. These high chiefs or the second class chiefs within the kingdom. Guys, we need to start thinking. Governor Inowe Obaseki, your father or your ancestral father, Agwo Obaseki, was a paramount chief in Benin Kingdom. The position of the Obaseki of Benin Kingdom is hereditary. That shows you as a governor needs to understand the tradition more than us who are not within the royal cycle. I go by my type man. Obama tiebo enikao ogwina. I want to go and check history, sir. How many people have dead the kingdom king? The result hasn't been pleasant at all. The only symbol of unity that the Edo people has, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are an Hindus, whatever kind of religion you believe in, one institution that we don't play with is the institution of the palace of the Obas of Benin. That is our identity. That is what distincts us from every other kingdom. It is the palace today that still makes Benin to be relevant in the Committee of Nations. It is the palace, the artifact that was stolen from us many years ago, that is still making us to become the talk of the town in every part of the world. It is the palace of the Obas of Benin that is our identity as a people. Let us not destroy what is making us who we are, all because of what I don't really understand. Let us not try to create a monster that will turn against us in the future. Let us not downplay the ancestral powers of the king of the Benin people. I want to tread with caution, sir. I don't know what the reason is, but every explanation I have heard or I've read does not augur well with me as a Benin person. I am totally disappointed that an Edo man is the one doing everything humanly possible to downplay, to relegate the kingdom that you came from in the mud. Many people are supporting you today because of what they get from your government. They won't tell you the truth. This is a dangerous trend and path you are taking. You are a Benin man, and peradventure you succeed in some of these things you are doing now. Don't be surprised what will happen if a non-Benin becomes the governor. They're going to so much rubbish the kingdom that you will cry why you even started all that is happening today. As a governor, I want to sit down, listen attentively, try to be wise, do the needful, leave the palace alone, concentrate on governance, and let the traditional institution purge themselves of anything you think that is not working well. All you need to do is to call all of them to a round table and discuss. Watch out for the last part. Thank you guys. My name is Jumali Stephen. God bless and bye for now. This is the final part on this series. Now, it was surprising to the palace. Also, you want to do something. The law have been there, yes. Somebody enacted the law in 1979. And I just think as at that time, Obas was still a small boy. The successive government, even from the time of the then Midwest region, just from the time of the then Midwest region, the palace of the Obas of Benin have been the head of the Midwest region. Oba Akenzwa II actually fought with other kings within the then Midwest to get the Midwest region. Then during the time of, it was not moved from Midwest, during the time of Yakubu Gowon to Bender State. Even at Bender State, the Oba of Benin still remains the paramount and the permanent chairman of the councils. Now, when Edo State and Delta were now divided, it becomes Edo. But do you know, throughout this time, none of these governors, whether military governor, whether elected civilian governor, did or went to look at these laws and want to enact it and bring it into existence. Do you think, sir, these guys that they were stupid? A military governor abandoned that part. Other civil governors like Ambrose Ali, like S.O. Bemudia, like Professor Osarieme, like Chief Lucky Benedion, like Adams Ali Oshomole, all of them looked the other way around. As far as Edo South was concerned, they allow the system to remain because they found that the system was working perfectly well. Do you think this successive government that have come before you, they didn't read the law? Do you think they did not understand the law? If you enact a law and the law will bring chaos, is it not better you allow the law to lie low for there to be peace, harmony, and tranquility? I want you to think very well, Your Excellency, sir. You have a period of a year to round off your government. Your major issues should be finishing well, as you always claim. There are many jobs to be done in Edo State. Like the Ekema Road, for example, is taking you 8 years, and yet you've not done the road to halfway. The Evotubu Road is there, and many other roads and infrastructure that are lying waste that need to be addressed by your government. Take this time you use in trying to create issues that will make you not to concentrate on the job you are elected to do. Take this time and deal with issues that is actually affecting the development of the state rather than jumping into traditional institutions that you know absolutely nothing about because you did not grow in Benin. The king of Benin is called the Hood Leopard. Atalapano. Iyeke de Eramoto. Go check history, sir. I don't want to go into the issues of the Ogiame kingdom. How you purported trying all means possible to institutionalize the Ogiame palace, to give them a staff of office, to give them recognition within the Benin kingdom during the war of the artifacts. I don't want to talk about how you wanted to use this Enogie that was now removed to fight against the kingdom. You will even remember during the time of, even before the coming of Obaeweka the first, even before the coming of Oromia, there was an Enogie called the Ogiego. This thing has been there from time immemorial. All these Enigie'S have been under the control and the subject of the palace in totality, because their powers also emanated from the palace. They do not have the power, their own individual powers. Why do you want now to create an issue that will make you to become bad in the eyes of the Edo people? Governance is supposed to listen to the cry of the people. What the people want that will not affect the day-to-day running of your government, that will not bring chaos or bring problem to your government, is what you need to focus on. Not what will always bring division, what will always make people to look at you as an enemy of the palace of the Obas of Benin, as an enemy of the Edo people. Don't always stand on that part. There's no need of trying to be a governor when you are already a governor. There's no need of trying to show that you have the power, the will to do anything. No need for it, because the Constitution has already given you such powers. But you have to use the power with caution, so that you will not be tagged the enemy of the people. The Edo people came out in en masse and supported you. Listen to them. Lastly, guys, I want all politicians to understand something. I told you the other day, do not drag the palace into your politics. Our Oba have never been a politician. He will not be a politician. And he will never be a politician. He's the father of all. So do not use this as a political gimmick. To downplay the power of the governor. Now they're going to use it to create a bad blood between the government of Edo State and the palace of the Obas of Benin. Either for you to get political sympathy from the palace and the Edo State people. Particularly those of you from outside the kingdom, do not use this as a political advantage to sell in negative narratives to the Edo State people that Obaseki and his government and his people and the PDP are against the palace. So I want you guys to know, in this political season that we are going to go into, you have to be issue-based campaigns. Like I said, I am going to come out here and deal on every candidate. After primaries have been done by each political parties, I'm going to dig deep to know their different antecedents and past records. I'm going to put the cards lying on the table for the Edo people to decide. So guys, this is not going to work. If you try to use the Oba as a way to sell your candidacy, to sell your political party, it's a dead on arrival plan. The palace is never a political party. The palace does not have a political affiliation to any political party. The palace does not have soft spot for any political party. All the palace wants is to see an Edo state that is developed, that is built on equity, justice, and fairness, and Edo state where peace and harmony reigns. My name is Jumali Steven. Thank you guys, and God bless you all. Bye for now.